Hey guys, what's up? This is AR Wooly coming at you with a different video today. I have a lot of people on my stream ask me, how do you use a texture pack in Geometry Dash? I want to change my icons from the default. I want something cool, something custom. And today, that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you exactly how to make your own GD icons from scratch. So I'll show you how the whole process from actually making the icon in Photoshop or your favorite photo editor to adding it to the game and using it. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up Geometry Dash like I have here, and I'm going to find an icon that I have unlocked. So for today, we're going to use a ship. Or a UFO. This is a UFO, not a ship. Okay, so we're going to use a UFO that I have unlocked. So I'm looking through here. I think I'm going to do this one on the far right. I don't ever want to use this UFO, so I'm okay with replacing it. So we're going to go ahead and use this one. So we'll want to remember what this looks like. And that's pretty much it for step one. So step two, I'm going to go into my settings here. I'm going to look at my graphics. So this part is important because this tells you which of the game sheet files that you need to replace the icons in, right? So I'm on full screen, but normally you'll want to check your texture quality. So mine's set to auto, and since my screen is resolution 2560 by 1440, it uses the highest quality graphics. So that means I'm going to use the Ultra HD sprite sheet. So, but if you look over here, we've got a couple different texture qualities. So we've got low, and we've got medium, and we've got high, and an auto. So I'm guessing most of you are on auto, but I'll kind of explain it when we get looking at the files, which file corresponds to which setting. So we've got, once again, we've got low, medium, and high. Okay. So that's really all we're going to do right now in the Geometry Dash game. So you'll want to shut this game down, actually, because once you edit your icons and update the files, it won't reload unless you close the game and reopen it. So let's go ahead and close the game. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find our favorite photo editor, whether it's Adobe Photoshop or Microsoft Paint, Paint.net, all that good stuff. So my favorite one, I use GIMP. It's open source, it's free. It's really nice. It helps me do a lot of my graphic editing, that I do on my own. So I'm going to go ahead and open up GIMP here. Okay, so what I've got opened up right now is the GJ Game Sheet 02 UHD. So that's what I've got opened up right now. So I'll kind of show you exactly what that means. So I'm going to open up a new file explorer here. Drag it over here, I suppose. All right, so you'll want to find out where your Geometry Dash is stored, where the data for that is stored. So I have the Steam installation of Geometry Dash, so I know my Steam stuff is on my C drive, and the program files x86. So here I've got the Steam folder. I'm going to double click that. I'm going to go down to Steam Apps, and from Steam Apps I'm going to go into Common, and from Common I'm going to select Geometry Dash. Okay, so this is all the information about Geometry Dash that Steam has. So here is where we have a couple different files, and the important one is this folder called Resources. So this contains all the graphical assets and all the data that makes the game run. So we're going to double click Resources. You can see this opens up a huge list of PNG files. So these are all the different textures and things that Geometry Dash needs to run. So what I'm going to go in here and do, so since we're editing an icon, I need to find which of these picture files is related to the icons. So I'm going to go find, it's called the GJ Game Sheet 02 is what we're looking for here. Okay, so we're on GJ font, GJ squares. Okay, so here we go. We've got GJ game sheets. We've got 04, 03, and 02. Okay, so remember back when we were looking at the Geometry Dash window, we were looking at the 3 different texture qualities. We had high, we had medium, and we had low. Okay, so this is where that comes into play. So if you play Geometry Dash on low textures, you're going to want to select this GJ game sheet 02. And that's going to be that's going to open up a picture file of all the textures that you will need. So if you're, once again, if you're using low textures, use GJ game sheet 02. Now if you're using medium textures, you'll want to use GJ game sheet 02 dash HD. So that those are all the same textures, they're just a little bit higher quality. And then so what I use high textures. So I use GJ game sheet 02 dash UHD. So that means that's the highest quality, the Ultra HD version of the graphics in the game. Like I said, since I run on high texture quality on Geometry Dash, this is the game sheet that I want to edit if I want to change my icons. So I've already got a version of this saved off somewhere with some edits I've already made to it, and that's what I've got opened up behind me here. So the first thing you want to do for sure is create a copy of this somewhere on your computer. That way, if you screw it up and you want to go back, you can copy this folder back, or this file back into this folder, and pretty much reset what you did. You can start from a clean slate. Always do that whenever you're making an edit to the basic Geometry Dash files. Now, if you get in a real pickle and you didn't make a backup, you can always uninstall the game from Steam, and this is if you have the Steam version. Uninstall it from Steam and reinstall it, and you get a fresh set of these files. But that's a little bit more time consuming. So make sure you make a backup of this on your computer. And like I said, use just game sheet 02 for low textures, game sheet 02-HD for medium textures, and game sheet 02-UHD for high quality textures. Okay, so I've gone and went ahead and opened up that file, GJ game sheet 02-Ultra HD, in my GIMP photo editor here. So I just clicked open, and this is what came up. So as you can see here, I've got some edits I've already made to this file. So I've already replaced a couple things in it. You know, if you watch my stream, I've got Coggers, I've got AR Woody, I've got Feels Batman, and some others. So these are the edits I've already made, so I'm just going to add another one here. So I'm going to look at this sheet, and I'm going to find which of those ships are the UFOs that I originally picked out that, hey, I want to replace this one with something new, something cool, something custom. Okay, so the first thing I do, I'm going to find that UFO. And if I look around here, you can see that I have selected it already. I'm going to zoom in on it. So this is the UFO, the picture of the UFO that I've selected already. Right here, it's kind of hard to see. Let's zoom over here. So it's right here in the middle. It's like right there. And what I do is I select it, okay, and then I hit Control-C to copy it. So this might be a little bit specific to GIMP, but the same concept will apply to all your photo editors. So I copy it, and then I create a new layer, or a new like a new project per se, or a new picture here from clipboard. So that will create a picture with the same dimensions of this that I selected here. So you want to make sure you select to the very edges of it. That way you get the whole ship in there. So if you accidentally miss some of these pixels here, it's going to look weird when you paste in your new thing. So I have selected it, and I created a new image based on this, and it's like 140 pixels by 67 pixels, something weird like that. Don't really matter, but it created a new one. Okay, and so I've already done that, and I've also selected the picture that I want to use from the internet. So for this example, we're actually going to use the red Mario turtle shell. We're going to make this into a UFO. So this is just any old picture you get off the internet. I went and just typed in Mario turtle shell on Google. I downloaded the picture, and it came with a transparent background, so that made my life easier. So then I copied this picture and went to the picture that had the dimensions of the UFO I selected, and I scaled it down to fit into that box. And here is what the end result looks like. So I'm zoomed in a lot, so it looks really blurry, but if you zoom back out to like 100%, it looks slightly stretched, but it looks good, right? So this is what I'm going to use to paste straight into that game sheet, and that's going to give me the new UFO. Okay, so let's go back to the game sheet Ultra HD here. Okay, so from here, I'm going to delete this pre-existing icon, and then I'm going to paste the turtle shell in there. Okay, so it fits right in there. I zoom out. Doesn't look half bad. So that's really all you have to do for that part. And I will say some of these UFOs and other icons that you see here, they've got these white highlights here that you see. If you don't delete those, it makes your icon look kind of weird. It gives it some particles on the outside of it. So I went ahead and deleted the matching, I guess, white highlights for that UFO I was using in this project. So I think it's over here on the right side. So let's see. So I've pasted the turtle shell. I found the highlights over here, the white highlights for that UFO. They're right here. You can kind of see the selection outline right here. I've had them right here, and I've deleted those as well. So now all you will see is the turtle shell in the background. So from there, I go up here to File, and I'm going to overwrite Game Sheet 02 Ultra HD. So one thing you'll want to do, if you haven't already created a version of this altered game sheet, you'll want to do like export as or save as or whatever, what have you, with your graphics editor, export as. And so I've got a folder on my computer that has all my custom Geometry Dash icons and particle trails and stuff like that. So I will save it in this folder. So you can see I've got different versions of all the files. So I'm going to click export. It's going to have the same name. One thing you got to make sure, if you do not do this, it will not work properly. You have to make sure it has the exact same name as the file you want to replace. So in this case, it's gj underscore gamesheet02-uhd.png. If you do not have the same exact name of what you're trying to replace, you will not be able to complete this process correctly. So I'm going to click export. And since I already have done this process a couple times before, it's going to say, hey, do you want to overwrite it? And I'm going to say, yeah, give me that turtle shell. Okay, so I'm going to click export. It's going to take a while for Ultra HD because it's a pretty big file here. So once that gets done, I'll show you what the next process is. Okay, so that's done loading now, or done exporting. So I'm going to open up, this is the folder I was talking about with all the files that I've made edits to for my texture pack for my edits to my Geometry Dash textures. So I'm going to find the file that I just updated here. So you can see Game Sheet 02 UHD. If I double click on that, it's going to open up, and you can see here, if I zoom in, this is what it looks like with just the Windows Photo Viewer. You can see the turtle shell right there. So that means it worked. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. Okay, so I'm going to copy this file by hitting Control-C on Windows, and then I'm going to go back into this resources folder that's in the Steam folder. So it's the Steam apps common Geometry Dash / resources folder. And so I come into this folder, and what I do here is I just hit Control-V. So that's going to bring up this file. And if you did it right, you will get this window said, hey, this file already exists. Do you want to replace it? You click replace the file. It'll say, okay, complete. And that's really all there is to it. So now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to open up Geometry Dash, and we're going to see our new texture. So, yeah. All right, so we're back in Geometry Dash, and nothing exploded. So I'd say we didn't screw anything up too bad, at least. So let's go ahead and check out and see if our turtle shell actually got imported. So we're going to click here, and hey, looky there. So I'm going to go over to UFOs, and there it is on the right side. Sure enough, it has replaced the old UFO that was there. And so now we can use it in game. It's going to use all the same borders and glows and stuff as the old one if you have glow unlocked. So if you want to get a little bit more in depth with your icons, you can replace those. And another thing you can see here, the UFO, the cap is a little bit mismatched, but for the purposes of this demo, we don't really care. We just wanted that cool turtle shell. We wanted something unique. So we're going to go ahead and select that. And yeah, now you have your turtle shell in game. So that's pretty awesome. That's one way to get custom icons into your Geometry Dash. You can do this with any image. You just got to scale it right. Like you said, I'll go ahead and show here. I've got the cube. I've got a Cheez-It for my cube. I've got AR Woody. You know, I've got Coggers over here. I've done this for almost all my icons. So I've got a Dorito chip as well. And here you can add custom colors too. If you want to do the colors in Photoshop, if you want to do more than 2 colors, it's awesome. Do that too. I will say one thing though. If you want to do custom colors in your photo editor of choice, you're going to want to change your colors down here to white. If you don't have it on white, it puts like a filter over it. Like if you, let's say I chose orange or red or whatever, it's not gonna look like the picture you posted or pasted into your new sheet. Okay, so you'll want to change the primary color to white. And really, that's it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? So yeah, let's call that good for this demo. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I know I had a lot of people ask about this, so like I said, I hope you dig this demo. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe down below. Leave some comments on maybe a tutorial you want me to do next. But until then, I'll see you next time. This is AR Wooly signing off. We'll see you later.